So what I'm going to go over now is how to breathe when running. So a few tips, a few methods that I like to use myself, and they really have definitely helped with my breathing and running. It is something that I definitely work on a lot, and I do concentrate on every time I'm out running, and it does really help. My main thing with breathing is it helps you stay in a rhythm, and it keeps your heart rate down. It does have an impact on your heart rate. If you're able to control your breathing a little bit better, you're going to be able to keep that heart rate a little bit lower, which means your body's less stressed out, and it's going to be using less energy. You're going to be more economic with what you're actually doing. But the thing is with it, it's not a bloody magical cure for a low level of aerobic fitness. I just want to make that clear that it's just not, breathing is not a magical pill that all of a sudden you're going to be running, as fast as an Olympian and running as far as you can. You still need to improve that aerobic fitness, because that's the number one thing that actually makes you puffed. I'm just going to go over a method that I use to help you guys sort of put some structure into breath training when you're going out and doing your running. Like I said, I do this every single time I run. Now, you need to take into account there's a difference between the low intensity running and the high intensity running. When you're concentrating on your breathing and really trying to control it, that's happening in low intensity running, right? It's not anywhere near as much in that high intensity running. The method I use is that I time my breathing with my steps. So when I very first start and I'm just doing that nice low intensity and I'm just going out and I'm nice and fresh, I'm going to be breathing fully in and out of my nose for 6 steps. The main reason that I do breathe in and out of my nose is because it helps control the breathing. Once the intensity goes up a little bit, or I start to fatigue a little bit, I'm going to be doing still those 6 steps, but I'm going to be breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. If you don't concentrate on it, you're going to breathe out very quickly. But what you need to do is sort of purge your lips a little bit and control that breathing out. So what I like to do is there's a feeling of not just breathing out of your mouth, but it's coming out of your nose as well. And you can just feel it nice and slowly breathing out. As the intensity goes up that little bit more, or you start to fatigue that little bit, now I reduce the cadence. So instead of going for 6 steps, now I'll drop back to 4 steps. And this is pretty much my steady state running. Low steady state, I'm fully in and out of my nose doing 4 steps. And then the high steady state, just that little bit more intensity, I'm breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth, but I'm still remaining with that 4-step cadence. You get good at this stuff. It's a good indicator of where your intensity is lying, because if I can no longer hold that 4-step cadence with my breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth, now I know I've gone past that aerobic threshold. Now I'm more into the higher intensity running. So it's a good indicator for me, if I'm just going for a steady state run, to back it off so that I can stay with that 4-step cadence. Once I get past that threshold, you just want to allow, so if I am aiming to go that little bit higher, I don't care about staying under that aerobic threshold. You just allow yourself to breathe how you meant, like how it wants to breathe, but you want to have some form of control over it. So you don't want to just be gasping in and out. You still want to be doing, like I said before, with a little bit of purging with your mouth, so that you're controlling, you're just extending it out that little bit more. But you still want to let yourself breathe how it needs to breathe once you get into those higher intensities. Throughout a run, this will change. So my breathing patterns will change. So I may be in a steady state and I may be running and doing in a low steady state, breathing in and out of my nose for 4 steps and just in a really good rhythm and feeling it really well. I may hit a hill, and now all of a sudden I can't breathe in and out of my nose at all. So I'll just allow myself to hit that threshold and just control what I can with that breathing, just allowing myself to do whatever it needs to do, still like in and out of my mouth, but just controlling that little bit. Once I get up over the hill, you'll go back down the other hill, and you'll probably be able to go back to that 4-step and breathing in and out of your nose, unless you just got a full flat track and you're able to just really concentrate on it. So when you very first do start this, it's pretty difficult if you haven't done any sort of breath control. What you can do if you go to do some of these methods and they seem really difficult for you, just do sets instead of just trying to hold, a 4-step a 4-step count breath for the entire time. Just do sets of maybe 5, and then just go back to normal breathing again. Okay, go back to normal breathing for 200 meters or whatever you're doing for your run, and go, all right, I'm going to try and do nasal breathing again. So hit another 5 steps, or maybe you have a landmark. Okay, I'm going to do 4-step count all through my nose from here until that light pole away. Alrighty, so that is my take and a couple of methods on how to breathe when you're running. So hopefully it helped you guys out.